I am not a financial advisor. These videos are all meant for educational purposes only. All Complete Trader Academy videos are my personal opinion and perspective. Trading carries a high level of risk, and all results are your own responsibility. Please always demo first. Hey everybody, welcome back to CT Review. Today is August 13th, Tuesday, 2024. Hope you had a good day today. So, as we were discussing yesterday, we would expect to see higher prices. If it's bullish or bearish, we would expect to see prices go up a little bit higher first before they do anything. Why? Because we had a lot of imbalance of price, and for all the momentum artists selling and all that, right? So, and that's exactly what we did. We outlined the 61. We have the 70 here, and all the liquidity that is breaking lower before we get to this low, right? So that's kind of where we're sitting exactly. Where do we go from here? So obviously, if you watched the video on the 8th of August, I've been mentioning the couple options. Either, we're going to come up like as we're doing now, and then CPI brings it down for another leg because of these equal lows and the liquidity here, and because of the whole market in general speaking. Or I was mentioning that we pull up and then we retrace back maybe into here. Or if we still go a little higher, retrace for a higher low, and then push up finally for to keep going up, right? Because the seasonality shows that in the historical data that we should be buying in general speaking. But that being the case with the way things are going, who knows? So literally, this month is going to be a shakeout month to me, and it's just like I had a feeling it was just going to be very unpredictable. All your tools aren't really going to work, and so on. But let me go through the day here and try to make this video short, right? So with the understanding of us pulling up and understanding what I said yesterday, you have to watch yesterday's video so this makes sense. But showing this as a support area here, and then I didn't even mention these two down candles, right? So that's these demand blocks right here, dried that price out. You can see we're just bouncing on these two down candles as consecutive down candles here, sure enough, Monday was just up and down, but we rolled in, and today a momentum day. So to try to make this simple, at first I didn't have it really outlined like this with the daily imbalance here. I did not include the gap, and there was a gap here too, right there. See that? So I moved it from here to there. Like we're pushing up now. That's funny. So from gap to gap. So that gap all the way to the low of our opening week gap, right? So that being the case, I had to adjust it. But anyways, that being the case, as you see 830 here, well, I'll start from here. We push up here from our gap, from today's gap. We never go below it. And that's really the letting you know kind of like the direction. We have a higher high here at 3 o'clock, 3:15, whatever, and then we retrace back to the midnight open plus the opening gap, right? Which would be, if I transfer it to this chart, you'll see it right here. Look at that right there, right, smacking it. But then it's it's higher high and higher low type of thing. But then it turns into a birdie. We call this a birdie, meaning it's literally like nonstop buying, right? You're not getting any retracements that are real. It's a manual intervention program that's just constantly moving up. And their goal is to get into obviously this big imbalance here on the 4 hours where we're pretty much gone. But what's it called? If you look at here at 830 here, I'm obviously I don't trade before 850. So anyways, we get the 830 push right here, and then boom, sits right inside that imbalance. Let me open this up. I know this is kind of ugly. We're sitting 50% of that right there. Beautiful. I mean, to the head right there. And then we're slowly pushing up. And as you can see in the background, pay attention, write this as notes. As you see the gaps on the chart, that's why I keep them on there, because you can see the algorithmic flow if you pay attention to the gaps, right? So, we're coming up to this gap, and then we're pulling back. We're sitting and bouncing in between. Then we push up. We go above that gap in the middle here, and then we come right back to 50%. And then we push up to the next gap, and we retrace back to that gap. And we come back to this gap. And as you see here, I mean, obviously it's not going to be perfect, but this is algorithmic delivery. And this is on its highest level of understanding. Rarely people will teach you this, right? This is my understanding as well. But anyways, that being the case, 9:30 is here. So right when 9:30 comes, I'm ready to buy because I already know that this is already a push day. And I don't expect it to fall out of bed just like that, right? But at the same time, I do know what we're doing to the left side of the chart. So let me see here. What's it called? This swing high here is also in my radar, but doesn't mean I'm going to hold for it. But just that understanding that you can see the liquidity on the left side of the chart here, right? So anyways, 8:30 starts, boom, we get this opening range gap, but we're already pushing up, and you could see it. I mean, you could, if you take a look at this 4-hour chart up here, right, you can see the structure here, but then you could see it very tiny, right? And you could see it's just floating. It's just literally floating. And we already had that in London. So with that being said, here 9:30 kicks in right away. 9:30 kicks in. I already know that we're sitting at a support. I already see the higher highs and higher lows. So with this trade, I'm taking it to this gap, to this high of the gap. And why? Well, not only because it's the high of the gap, but number two, I'm above the 61. Number three, I have that candle there, which is right there, which I'm going to go to a real chart. Not a real chart, but yeah. And you can see here, I'm going to try to blow this up real quick. See that candle right here? This August 1st, Thursday. This Asia candle here. Let me open it up. So very little wick right there. Very, very little wick right there. Right? As you can see, very little wick right there. And then, what's it called? I obviously know that could be a target here because as you can see, there's not really any, it literally just opened up and kind of stalled. But for me, personally, I'm going to go with that high of the gap. So very high probability area to hit. And then I settle with this level per se. So I'm on overbought here and I have to take the profit. I understand what kind of day it is already. I literally already know. I mean, look at this run already. If you can see this push up, look at the small retraces back, literally constantly going. It's just a floater. We call them a birdie. I don't know, what you guys want to call it, but that being the case, after that was done and said, here we get to this top here. I do try for this sell right here, and I do understand that if you look at the 15-minute chart. Let me blow the 15-minute chart. It was pretty helpful today. But that first green here. So I understand that we're at a 15-minute right here between these two gaps right here. I took the trade out here and it retraces back. So I'm already trying to sell this, right? Because I'm not convinced that it's a floater day. Like my impulses and my degenerate side wants to just, it's nothing wrong with being an analyst, I should say, but at the same time, I try to go for it, right? So, and then obviously it does tap into this, back into this 1 minute imbalance, and then we push off. So at this point, when I took a loss here, and it started just literally sitting here like this, I knew what time it was. Then I was convinced it was a floater day. As you can see here, the price will push up, retrace back into this 1 minute imbalance, and then it'll push up here. And a lot of consolidation here, staying into this 1 minute, this 958 candle. And then the price dips. And I got these highlighted green because they're big 15-minute imbalances. And I have a feeling that price is going to be very, very, not besides drawing to it, but it's going to be as support. Sure enough, these candles push down into this 15-minute candle, which is this 930. It's the 930 candle, right? And then and sure enough, I wait for it to go above this inversion imbalance and hold as support, and then take that trade. So I'll show you that trade right there. And here you'll see that we do rush for it, and then I was gonna push it here, but I needed more confirmation. I do get these 4 candles that push up strong. I get the little retrace back, and we're pretty much dancing on top of that inversion imbalance, which is right there. You can't miss that, right? And then we're tagging it. I'm in. We've already mitigated to the left of the chart here, which is these up candles. So pretty much not worried about it coming any lower. And sure enough, what's my target here? I'm rushing for that daily imbalance, which is going to be here. I didn't draw it out or anything, but I included it inside. See this daily imbalance right here from August 1st to August 2nd, in between that. So I've highlighted it with the bearish imbalance. That's the big red zone. But the top of it would be the high of that gap. And then the low of it, if you look at the open here, the open here is, look to the left here, up here. You can see here that the open is 18,956 and a half. So 18,956 and a half. And then you'll see here 18,956 right there. So that's why I got it marked in that green level, because that's where I'm trying to hit. Because many times I've hit that gap. I've hit a gap like that, and it'll literally just touch it, and then it'll take off the other way. So this was my minimum target. Didn't even wait for the half. And obviously, it's going to be a floater day. It's going to keep going. But so yeah, this was, and here's the big takeaway of today. And I've had a lot of experience in this market, so I understand. But when you get these floater days, just buy, just fucking buy. Like, don't try to catch the top. Don't try to make reasons of why it's gonna be coming down. It's a floater, man. These and I'm sure you have experience. You've seen these days before, but you can see here, like, just take a look at the 4-hour chart. Look how it just it kind of like slithers down right here. See how it just kind of like slithers down right there with the small candles, and then you end up fucking down here. Well, as you can see, it's turning up this way. It's doing the same thing. It's literally doing the same thing on this side of the chart, though. So it's a floater day. It's a birdie day. And if you're gonna first of all, stay away from the market. Like, get your trade, get your couple trades or whatever, and be done. Literally be done, or don't even trade it at all. I knew today was going to be fucking suspect, but I came out. Why? The reason why is, number one, I don't go on tilt or overtrade, because I understand myself. I say, okay, yo, this is going to be one of those days. You try to catch these tops, dude, you're going to get burned. Number one. Number two, I've seen them where they just, at the end of the day, you're like, why didn't I just buy? Why didn't I just buy? Every one of these zones that I've already got highlighted are showing you to buy, literally. And then if I fast forward here, you'll see here's a 15-minute imbalance right here as well. It's holding support. If I drag this out, you'll see that you can see the body's respecting and all that. And we finally hit this gap, and I fucking knew it. You motherfuckers. Excuse my language. Like, all day today, and the reason why I'm saying this, the gap theory of all this moving is because I knew we were going to go to this higher gap here, because the price is like a highway. It's like it's literally just running to the next gap, right? And look at it. Look at that. Oh my God. I need to just take a second to reflect, because all day today I'm like, bro, just hold it for the gap. Just hold it. But when it's small movement like this, it's easy for it to get a big push like this, like this push down. It's very easy to come and take that out. But I wish I trusted myself. I fucking knew we were coming to this gap, dude. As you can see it on my 4-hour chart, pretty clear there. You can't really see it well in general speaking, but the 15-minute you can see it. So from this gap here to this gap here, it's just one straight shot. When they got here, they're playing around. You see how they're pretending like this is resistance, and all they're really doing is just creating liquidity so they can rush to that gap. They're smart. They know what they're doing. They're very efficient. And now we finally got into this level here. So what's above that? We have another gap right here. We have another gap right here, right? Actually, this is not a gap, is it? No. Yeah, it is. But so man, I mean, oh my God, bro. But the point is that buy. Like, when you get into these scenarios, you'll remember this day. It's just better to not go. Don't ever go against the grain, man. Just fucking buy. And you'd be like, oh my God, it's still going up. Oh yeah, this has got to be the big sell now. It's like, and then they induce you with, a movement like this to say, oh yeah, that's got to be the sell, And sure enough, it's all bullshit. But their goal is to come up and wipe out. And just like I was mentioning yesterday's video, it's just they're just coming up to wipe out the sellers here, right? It's all they're doing. So from here, 15 minutes, I want to make these short, man. There's so much more I could talk about. We had a nice divergence here with the down lower lows here. That was pushing us up right there as well. And nice buying activity right there. And let me take a look at some other chart down here real quick. Yeah, so with this 1030 here, you can see that when we got to that point, where did it go? You see here, this little dip down into that 15-minute. That was that purpose of buying, but I waited until it got to here. So, excuse me. So yeah, man. I'm not saying we're dropping from here or anything, but I mean I know that was their target. And where do we go from here? Well, if you take a look at the other assets, real quick, if we look at dollar's just coming down too. So, dollar definitely does look bearish. I mean, if you take a look, this is fucking sideways. All right, and obviously it's been sideways, but it looks like we're breaking to the bottom side. I'm surprised it haven't come to the top. I mean, we'd have to see a nice response from here if this thing's going to be buying. So one more leg down, but dollar is just whatever. And then as far as Dow goes, again, it made perfect sense for it to come up higher if it was bullish or bearish. So this is that little pocket of price, as you can see, breaking those lows, and then we have an imbalance here. Very, very obvious that we were kind of pushing up a little bit higher. So do we roll over from here or not with CPI, right? Is the whole fucking magic question, right? If you take a look at S&P, they're getting to that gap right here, and this is also another thing I wanted to talk about. They had 3 gaps. Oh shit, I didn't even realize, I forgot about that. But as you see here, getting to that gap is pretty obvious that they're going right to it. You can see it right there. I'm not even going to draw it, but you can see it. We're kind of reaching that. But this is a form of resistance area too. So, I mean, do we blow through or not? And then let me just do my projections here. I'm going to just redo this again. Let me make this a 4-hour. I want the videos to be done. I'm sorry that I make them long, even though that, you got to deal with it. Oh, as you can see here, if we project it from here to here, I don't think I was discussing this. Came to a 2 and a 2.5, and then that's why we're getting this nice pullback. But that's why I was also, if you look here to the 3 to 4, I was like, okay, well that next leg, it would make sense for us to get down to here. So do we get down into here with that CPI and then with the market the way it's going, or is this just really going to murder everybody selling here and just keep going? So obviously my options here, if it's bullish, it's a floater, type of thing, right? That's bullish option number 1. Bullish option number 2 is, we get some type of shit like that, right? All right, so I'll leave that. And also in option 1, by the way, we kind of do this type of thing, and then we push up, right? Which, I mean, I personally don't believe that the value of these stocks should be here. So don't get me wrong. But I do know the way they inflate and keep this money train moving. And then obviously if we're bearish, then it's like, it's turnaround time. Like, it's like, we could get to this gap right here. There's a gap also for us up here. See right there? I guess I could draw it. I should draw it technically, but, let's go to gap and let's move that out. So, are we rushing for that to then roll over? So let me just do my bearish situation. Either we're rolling up, we're rolling from here, right? So as far as we're talking only bearish, or do we do this, type of thing. So I don't think there's anything else I need to say. I know these videos are way too long. I don't want them to be this long either, so you're not the only one. And then And here's the thing with this response like this, pushing up, I mean, this might be the next bull run. Honestly, I mean, that might have been the bottom. It's Nvidia coming down to this support here and still not coming any lower right now is a big sign that we're still pushing up. So, I mean, that would obviously go for all of us. And yes, I'm totally against having lows like that in the market still. So this could be that support and pushing up. So, and as you can see, the response is good. So, I mean, I'm literally neutral. So I don't really know what else I could say. It is what it is. So, but your experience in day trading will show when the day starts to come out at 9:30. But I know this month is going to be fucked up. So I mean, I got to take my little trades and be done. And remember not to overtrade and to not go against the grain. And every pullback is a blessing. It's just an opportunity. Draw it out and it'll keep it things simple. There's nothing else I could say. Don't try to get smarter than you are. Just I'm not saying chase price or whatever, but I would say follow price in the sense. Just don't fight this. But what other advice I could give you? I don't know. I mean, this is kind of where we are. And I mean, this big up candle, I mentioned it yesterday that we would come and hit this candle. Preferably, I mean, sometimes I said this wick too, if you watched yesterday's video, but now what is this candle? What are we left at? We're left at 50% of that candle. I'm eyeballing it in this area. 50% would make sense for it to stop. That would be a high probability area of it reversing. Also coupled with the 79 on this right here. And plus you'll get, pretty much some momentum artists breaking down. And do we sell from 50% of this actual imbalance right here? And now, if you look to the left of the chart, why I kept the daily imbalances there is because do we use this as resistance? Is it gonna come here and then stop at its tracks right here, which is where we are now for this imbalance? Do we push above it and use it as support to get to then this daily imbalance and then this one, right? So like we're gonna be using what's left on the chart to look at what order flow is looking like, and also obviously with this run here. Do we respect 50% of this imbalance? So guess I'll just draw it now. But now we're in this imbalance right here. But we do have I'm gonna keep it off the daily, yeah. So we're entering that right now, and as you can see, when we got to this daily imbalance that we were in now, we did hit the 50% and we used it as support. So that's the other thing I might have missed in this conversation here. If you take a look here, if I drag it out, that's how we got that pullback at we had that nice pullback in London. Well, I'm sorry, not London, pre-New York. And then so on, right? And you can see it, right? You can see it in the middle, right? So that was another reason why we just traders knew that we're just floating up. We're going up, right? We're going up to these next areas. So I think I've said enough, man. All right, you guys take care and God bless.